Doug, do you feel like you were overconfident coming into this week?
No, not at all.
Regret voicing your confidence earlier in the week?
Just felt like, I had a lot of confidence in this football team, a lot of trust, a lot of faith in the guys.
Is this the worst loss since you've been here?
It's either one or two, yes.
I told him to shut up, Nana. All right. So what you think he's doing now? Don't ask me about that man no more, bro.
That's a little DeMarcus Lawrence talking about Doug Peterson. Before that, a little Doug Peterson talking about Doug Peterson, his non-guarantee from last week. The moment that he didn't double down, Chris, last week, because remember, just to set the scene here, he was on WIP radio in Philly last Monday, and just very nonchalantly, we're going to go down there, we're going to win. And reporters asked him later in the day, hey, talk about your guarantee. What guarantee? I didn't guarantee anything. Well, you did. And I think the fact that he wobbled on it a little bit took something away from it. It didn't take anything away from it for the Cowboys,
No, it did not.
That got them focused. That got them motivated, contributed to that sense that the team is under siege, that Jason Garrett's on the hot seat. I think they live for those moments where it feels like the walls are closing in. They find a better level of performance, and we saw it last night with a 37-10 win.
Yeah, they are a team that does seem to thrive on, external motivation. When somebody else says something, or you guys aren't good anymore. Or, we saw it last year. They were 3-5. They go 7-1 down the stretch. But in my experience with those guys, look at Rod Marinelli, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know he is the type of guy that could use it as something to fire his defense up, definitely, and especially a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence, who hasn't played up to his contract to this point yet. And you know what? Yesterday he pops a few times in the game, and it was maybe just enough to kind of get them over the edge to focus in on some of the details and things they had been messing up on their 3-game losing streak.
Another guy who popped last night after getting the big contract following the holdout, Ezekiel Elliott, 22 carries, 111 yards, and a touchdown. He had 6 catches, 36 yards. And it seemed like he had that little pop back, right?
He did, right.
And you were careful to point out, you're not saying he'd lost a step, but there were moments where it looked like the Zeke of old would have gotten more yardage out of a play.
Yes.
And he had a little more of that zip in his step last night than what we'd seen.
I think so. I mean, I thought it from the first carry of the night, just running up the middle. You saw, explosion, a little bit more of a angry running style instead of maybe, let me see if I find the right hole here and try to find it that way. I felt like last night he just said, you know what, I'm going to get the ball. I'm going downhill. If I miss the hole, so what? But I'm going to do it aggressively and make people pay for getting in the way. And, he got some tough earned yards there, and I thought it was the best he has looked really in the last 2 years, I would say.
And I think the simple explanation is that the Cowboys won those first 3 games of the season so easily. They allowed themselves to think it was just going to continue to be easy.
Sure.
And once they went to New Orleans and got a little cold water in the face,
right.
And then they come home and the Packers come down and take it. It's you got to fight to get yourself back to an even
they were
keel.
wobbling a little.
And
right.
And I think what happened in the aftermath of last week's loss really did kind of propel them forward. But you know what? They've done one pass through the division, and they've dominated everyone in the division.
Yes, they have.
So I
mean,
think.
What do you think? Like, do you think the Cowboys? Like, I still think the Cowboys are for real. Like, I do. I know I might be in the minority. I know that's only 4-3, but I look at that team and go, I think they can make a run and still be a really big-time player in the NFC. Do you feel the same way?
Well, think back to last year.
Yeah.
They were 3-5.
Right.
And they were limping into Philadelphia on a Sunday night. They've played the Eagles on Sunday Night Football since NBC's had the package 12 out of 13 years. So for the 2018 annual Cowboys-Eagles Sunday night game, everyone was saying the same things that we were saying, maybe even worse.
Right.
Hey, if they get blown out, if it's ugly, Jason Garrett may get fired. And they found a way to win that game. It was 27-20, not the same quality of blowout, but it was on the road.
Yeah.
And they went 7-1 the second half of the season. So sometimes that kick, that punch, that thing that wakes you up continues. And I think that now we'll see if they can do this year what they did last year, which is use that win over Philadelphia as the momentum to really kind of take off the rest of the way. So I think they can.
You do.
I think they can.
Okay, I was waiting for you to get to the final statement.
Well,
there.
but I wanted to give you a reason for it. I didn't want to say, I think so. I mean, you try to support it a little bit. That's why I support it, because last year they did it, you jerk.
Yeah, all right. Well, the other thing, too, we talked a lot about last week, like follow the money, right? And then they have guys that are not performing up to their contract. Zeke better. DeMarcus Lawrence gets the strip sack fumble on the second drive? How about Jalen Smith, the guy they signed into a big contract before the season started? He gets the fumble on the first drive by knocking Dallas Goedert, hitting him hard, knocking the ball loose. So those are all positive signs for the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what they do need. They need dominant. They're a star-driven team, and they pay their stars, and they expect their stars to carry the squad through tough times. And last night was one of those tough times, and they win the football game.
Bye week in week 8, and you hate to take a week off after having a game like that. At the Giants on a Monday night coming up week 9, so they actually have an extra day on top of their bye week. Then
seems like a thing this year. I feel like there's been a few teams that have had
that. The 49ers did that 15-day break. Then it's a short week and a visit from the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. At the Lions after that. At the Patriots on November 24. In come the Bills for Thanksgiving. At the Bears, the Rams, at the Eagles, and Washington to end the season. Really, after coming off their bye week at the Giants, they should win that one easily.
Yes.
And Washington at the end of the season. Everything in between is a tough game.
Yes, it is. They're going to have to play quality football on both sides of the ball to beat a lot of those teams, certainly. And we know they are extremely talented, Dallas. There's not going to be a team really they walk on the field with where you're going to go, oh, they're really outmatched. There's not one area of the team you can look at the Cowboys and go, oh, yeah, they're physically underwhelming here, or they don't match up with this team, blah, blah, blah. No, I think they are one of the more talented teams in football. When they take care of the ball and maximize what's there to be had, they're pretty tough to beat.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.